This is just my personal nerdy 2 cents. I think that this is one of the best rigs and layouts for full-timers potentially out there. Take a look at this thing. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here in Middlebury at Jayco today, because despite the fact that we carry these things at my Coldwater, Michigan hometown superstore, they are selling faster than I can get my hands on one. So I actually took a little bit of a road trip over here to Jayco, where they were kind enough to pull one of these up. We are looking at what I think is one of the best extended long-term use kind of RVs I've seen out there in a very long time. And today we're looking at it in one of their just totally beautiful full body paint packages that are optional, but oh my gosh, does it make this thing look good. But before we even get to that, the layout on this is amazing. It's one of my personal nerd preferred long-term use layouts, because we have a huge kitchen with lots of storage, lots of space, a lot of countertop prep space, factory standard dishwasher as well, which already puts this into a very elite separate class that is, there's not a lot of things playing in there. There's some dishwasher prep stuff, but very few RVs just absolutely have one. And if you're going to be spending a long time in this, that's a really handy feature. It has a ton of seating space, and it's got a very almost residential style wraparound kind of sofa. You can sit everybody at this thing. It has so much space, and between the extra tall slides, the wide body nature of this, and just the ridiculous amount of window coverage, it looks and feels enormous in the living room, but for good reason. This doesn't just have opposing slides, it's got a big giant, what I call mega slide in the living room, where it actually is like a 3-piece slide that also has a desk built into it. So if you're looking for some dedicated work from home, away from home space, you got it. You could also use under that desk as a perfect little pet palace if you need a pet bed, pet dishes, anything like that. It's the best space for it. Jayco has also completely created a new heating system on this that gets rid of the floor heating vents without losing the warm floor and efficiency of the traditional floor ducted heating system, and so much more. This video is going to be long and strong and down to get the camping on, because this is a monster rig with a lot to cover. And if you appreciate how we get you all those nitty gritty details and get you the footage of these things away from the store today, hit that subscribe button. And as we go, let me know, what do you like about this and what would you change given the opportunity? All right, so fair warning, right as we get started, this video is going to run long. I have a ton of information to cover on this RV, and I can't get to every single nut, bolt, widget, whiz, bang, and fastener. And if, you get tired of listening to me, mute the video. Play the video at 2x speed. Skip ahead. Whatever you need to do. But I know that if I was looking at spending this kind of money, I would want to know what I am getting for it. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to cover for you in this video today. Like, you can look at it. I mean, I don't use a wide angle lens. And even without that, you can see that this is just a big, wide sucker. But there's some extra things I want to point out. Like the fact, not just that we're a wide body, but they have what they call their Magnum Truss XL6 roof system right here, where it's double-barreled roof trusses that have a 6-inch gap between them, which creates a bigger, thicker, like attic space, allowing for more insulative quality, but also just more headroom and even insulation through the entire RV. You might peek as we go through this. This is outfitted with a triple air conditioner system. That is something that you can get on these Pinnacles here. There's also a lot of indirect lighting, but something you won't see are a bunch of mechanical fasteners. Also, Pinnacle woodwork is a level above most other things in the RV market. Like all of our cabinetry that you're looking at, not only is that super polished high gloss, it is actually an all hardwood cabinetry. It's not a sticker wrap. It doesn't have a veneer. It doesn't have any of that kind of stuff. They have also created their own new heating system that's basically the best of old and new put together. So if you look at this, you will not see floor ducted heating. They have removed all the ducting from the floor, but the heat runs still run through the floor. So essentially, the floor is still heated and warmer to the touch when you're walking around, in just bare feet. But you don't have the dust collectors and the crud collectors in the floor anymore. So again, they've found a way to create a ventless ducting system, heating system that doesn't lose its efficiency. It's a really cool thing they did. Now, again, we are outfitted with a third air conditioner. The third air works a little bit differently. They're all the same type of air conditioner, But the primary air conditioner in the back and in the bedroom, they're both whisper ducted. That's where it's called nerdism number 37. If you don't see the square, you won't hear the air. You've got those little air intake baffle returns on the left and right side of the screen up there. And again, I don't use a fisheye wide angle lens. It just really has that nice barreled aspect to it. Now I'm going to swing around real slow over here to the left. I'm actually going to pop a squat, I think, over at the sofa. I'm kind of just playing jazz and making this up as I go. I don't do what I call concert sheet music RV videos. I sort of play it along as I think about it. And this thing gives us just tremendous campsite window coverage. But it's because it has that big mega slide, because part of the kitchen's actually in the slide, but they still created, essentially, I guess you could call it, 2 seating spaces within the slide out over here. Now, this dining arrangement is very similar to like a diesel pusher mindset, and that's really a lot of the goals of a Pinnacle. You're going to hear me refer back to that several times in this video today, is to give you the concept of a towable diesel pusher. Pardon my Diet Mountain Dew can there. That caffeine's the only thing that keeps me going some days, and I'm actually recording this early on a Monday. Basically, the factory called me and said, hey, we finally got that unit you were looking for down here. You want to come get it on the spot? I'm like, yep, let's do it. Now, one of the nice things over here is that you do have this factory standard desk arrangement, and it's all solid surface countertops, but there's essentially like a keyboard or laptop tray that can slide open to you and have a little flip top, kind of like a little elementary school desk, because the rest of the solid surface chunk you're looking at here, it does set up a little bit higher. So up top, you have room for either decorations or arts and crafts, or like potentially bonus appliance space. But the thing is, these are fold away guest chairs. So down below, if you want to get rid of those, you could leave this wide open and have space for pet dishes, pet beds, whatever you're thinking. You know, how would this is the space right here where it's like multiple people will use this RV very differently in this one area. I'd be kind of curious how you would go about it. In the meantime, we're going to keep on cruising around here. We're actually going to come back and take a look at a lot of things in deeper detail, kind of like that desk. First of all, though, I just want to give you kind of a quick look around. Now, for the most part, this RV uses the bigger XL vent fans like you see up there in the ceiling of the kitchen area, the rain sensor XL vent fans. The half bathroom does not use the bigger vent fan because it's a smaller room and it's not trying to share ventilation with everything else. If you wanted to upgrade that vent fan right there, you still definitely could. That's just not what this one's going to do. Now, Pinnacles are really genuinely attempting to be your home away from home. So things like a dedicated factory standard dishwasher, the larger oven, the bigger 4-burner stovetop, so you feel a little bit more at home. The multi-piece smart sink. This is one of those sinks that has like, you know, the little veggie strainer and the cutting board and all those extra little things along with the cup sprayer. I have that pulled out so that you could see the storage that's, or not the storage, the space that's kind of in there. That's also a residential size microwave, and it's convection. So, you know, everything in this, they're doing it vanilla ice style to the extreme. They're rocking mics like vandals. Working our way around, once again, a very high gloss and sheen on all of the woodwork, and it is it's all hardwood, you know? They don't use any of that sticker wrap veneer stuff in here. Working our way down, the way that this kitchen kind of wraps around you, but because it's a big wide body kitchen, there's always room. If 2 people need to get in here, you're not like constantly tripping over one another. And to make it easier, they basically bring the power outlets to you. Now, again, I'm going to make a second pass back and look at more of this stuff in greater detail. But first and foremost, the living room and the entertainment package on this is awesome. Any TV that you see will be factory standard. There's 1 outside and 2 inside. They had this mounted a little bit higher before. They actually brought it down a little bit to be easier to see. You might notice there's a buckle strap across it for shipping purposes. That TV can twist, shout, and pivot around. But when you're sitting over here on this big wraparound, like sectional recliner party couch, it's just absolutely perfect. I don't know, in my 2 cents, I think that that's an awesome arrangement. The thing that I love about this, though, is that if somebody's back here in the kitchen doing prep work and there's a show that you don't want to miss, or you know, you want to stand up and grab a drink or a bite to eat, you're looking over the people in the sofa, so nobody's really left out of the entertainment action in this one. And it's those kind of little creature feature comfort things that I really look for in RVs. Once again, more pet friendly than ever now that we've gotten rid of the floor ducted heating vents. The RV also does have a factory standard centralized vacuum system. I'll give you a peek at that in just a second. Additionally, though, a lot of manufacturers have quietly deleted two-section roller shades. Well, take a look at this, Carol Baskin. You can see how they're giving us both day and night roller shades as compared to just one or the other. Additionally, that table, remember how I said it comes with a pair of fold-away guest chairs? That table can extend out. You can truly still have a four-person dining area right there. So if you want more than just me and you, if you're looking for all of the space, you can absolutely do that in this RV. You can have some guests over, you can play cards, you can have a puzzle, and when that table's open, you can still walk around it and get back to the kitchen. It doesn't cut or block anything off, which is really nice. I mentioned the central vac feature. That's actually down here. It's almost a two-piece and a biscuit style, where on the right, that rectangle, that's where you'd hook up the it looks like the pool cleaner hose kit and walk around like the dentist who sticks the thing in your mouth and goes and it like sticks to your tongue. Sorry, I just came back from the dentist, so it's like fresh in my mind over here. Then you've got the lower black rectangle below the fireplace right there. That's what I call the electric dustpan. And what that does is you can basically flick it up with your toe and just brush everything straight into it, and it still pulls it into that central vac collection point. Now, you might notice, too, these windows open for some awesome airflow. Like, the upper section is viewing only, but the lower sections where there's that horizontal beam, those are big airflow chunks. So you can actually get some really nice breezes running through this thing. And speaking of that, along with the triple air conditioner, you also have that ceiling fan up top to really push a lot of air around when and where you need it. Now, peeling everything apart like an onion and getting into this thing into some bigger, deeper layers, there's more than meets the eye with this sofa. And I like to take the time to actually open the hide-a-bed section like this for you to help you understand not every manufacturer who gives you a wraparound sofa will actually give you the hide-a-bed section, and you still have a pair of recliners built right into this. Now, here's the thing. The two recliner sections, those actually need to be stowed away for transit. So if you look at the upper left, upper right corners, basically you can see how those things, they bracket together. So once you set them up, they're easy to manage. They are on wheels, so they're very easy to move around. But, when you close the slides up, you have to move that section of the sofa, otherwise it's going to bust. So it just slides right under the desk. That's part of the reason the space under that desk is so awfully large right there. Where do I want to go from here? Let's actually jump back around that kitchen counter because this is awesome what they're doing. So first of all, a built-in cutting board, which is nice, but there's a little hole on top of it so that if you're doing veggie prep, you can literally just scrape stuff directly into the garbage can, which I think is awesome. Again, this does have that factory standard dishwasher there. Now, there's a bunch of, like, North Points are typically dishwasher prep, but there's not a factory option for one. That's something that we could add for you at the stores. This actually has it right from the factory, and you might need a 2 or 3 step stool to get to all this storage. But I love the fact that they maximize the storage wherever they could. And they did some really crafty, creative things with it. For instance, the way that big pantry over there slides open to you is awesome. But they even thought about it. It even has its own little factory shipping securing buckle strap so that it doesn't pop open behind the slide out in transit. Now, to the left of the stove, you've got like drawers inside of drawers, basically. This has that big GE refrigerator system also going on in here, which is the RV does have an inverter to keep that powered up while you're driving, so that's not an issue whatsoever. The thing is, though, that is a big, fast-cooling refrigerator, and the reason that they use this is, one, GE is a very respected brand. 2, it actually does have an ice maker and water dispenser built into it, and Jayco has a whole house drinking water filtration system, now factory standard, basically on Eagle, North Point, Pinnacle, and Seismic. So even if you're at a place that has kind of questionable, musky sort of water, you can still have clean ice, clean drinking water, and you don't really have to do anything special to enjoy it. It's just integrated, it's simple, it's easy, it's direct. It's just it's the way that you would want it to work, essentially. So I love the extra little details that they put in there. But did you notice too, like in that in the second pantry, essentially next to the refrigerator, there was even like a little appliance shelf that slid open and had some power outlets in there. So depending on what you're doing with it, they give you all kinds of cool, crafty, creative solutions here. And like Mary Poppins, I think that brings us back to dough, which is different than Homer Simpson bringing us back to dough. That was not my worst Homer Simpson. I don't think I do a great one, but that wasn't terrible. Let's fly up over here by the entry door and look at a couple things. First of all, again, the campsite window coverage on this is just crazy. Secondly, this has a smart command system that you don't necessarily have to hook up to with your phone. You will find a bunch of these little panels all around the RV, but they will each have up to 6 buttons that do different things depending on where it's located in the RV. So over here where I'm looking off the campsite, I can turn on and off all my exterior lights right here, or I can do things like turn off my ceiling lights right here. You know, up in the bedroom, you might have one that does bedroom slides, bedroom lights, all kinds of different little things like that. Also, I love the fact that they gave us a privacy shade in the entry door. So many big luxury fifth wheel brands don't, and that just absolutely shocks me. And even though it's up a little high, I really love the fact that they just didn't waste any space and gave us a place to like do things like, you know, hang a couple jackets or a dog leash right by the door, you know, simple, easy things like that. They also well, not hid away, but they put the converter panel over here. So all your fuses and everything are very easy to access. And when the slides close, you can, you know, let's say, God forbid, you pop a fuse, you can get to them. When you're traveling, you can also very quickly and easily get to a bathroom in a pinch, or if you're just outside, or if you have a guest over. That is a porcelain foot flush stool, and you can see how there's just tons of room. Like, because this is a big wide body rig, they give us a lot of room around that thing. They also, in the bedrooms and bathrooms, give us these little lower accent lights right here. So if you are trying to navigate at night, you can see what you're doing. And you'll notice that in Pinnacles, they don't start to shift once you leave the kitchen to like thermofoil or T-molded. Like, everything stays solid surface. Everything also stays, like, you can hear that's not just plastic. You know, if I clink my wedding ring against it or something right there. Now, there's a deceptive amount of storage in this bathroom to display for you. So I'd like you to kind of peek over at the right-hand side of the screen here, starting right about meow. And I'm going to try to give you a little bit of a look through all this. Now, the one thing this half bath doesn't have is a sort of like a place for a wastebasket. But there's enough open floor space that I think you could absolutely include one in here and it wouldn't be a problem. Now, here in this half bath, they ran that ceiling or that cabinetry all the way up to the ceiling, and you can notice again how they gave us the smaller vent fan here in the half bath. This is the only room in the RV where you will encounter that. Everything else is going to have the bigger XL vent fans because, again, it's a smaller room that's used less. And that small fan should be enough for a small cavity room like that to be serviced. You shouldn't need anything big and extra special for it. Now, one of the other cool things here is how this is, again, carpetless, ventless, but also they gave us a very deep bedroom slide. And as a result, that creates some huge open floor space in this bedroom. Now, you may have noticed that one of the upper cabinets in the half bath was not as deep as the rest. First of all, that would make it almost impossible to reach. Secondly, it created the opportunity just to put like a little personal pocket up here. Now, there's not like power outlets or anything in it. There are power outlets for each bedside. That would just be kind of like if you want a place to put a couple books or something like that. That'd be a place that you know, you could have some things. I wouldn't put anything real heavy up there, like maybe store a couple hats or something like that. You like your favorite camping hat? I don't know. You've got the windows, all of which open for airflow all around the bed. Remember I said we had these context sensitive control panels right here. So you can lay in bed and then turn off all the lights inside and out right from here. You can push a button and turn off all the lighting so that you don't have to like be like, oh crap, we forgot to turn off the awning lights and I don't want to bug the neighbors. You can literally sit down, push one button for all inside lights, one button for all outside lights, right from the comfort of your bed without putting on pants, people. That is good news. Now, in a Pinnacle, The king bed that we're looking at is factory standard. Now, it absolutely eats up the frame, but you could go to an optional 60 by 80 queen. And when you do that, you will actually gain some side stands built into the bed slide box right there. Something that's not easy to display on camera is like you can kind of see the circular USB plate right there between the window and the slide fascia, right at the center of the screen. But there are household outlets that are inverter prepped on both sides of the bed. So there are household outlets on within easy reach of both bed sides. Now, if I swing around here, sweet chariot, give you a look at a couple things. First of all, you might wonder, what's that little box in the corner? Well, that's covering the extra upper deck structure beam because this has such a huge upper deck structure. They had to make sure that they put a big bulky beam in it, but it's mostly covered in this floor plan. Otherwise, you see that heat vent down there below the dresser and the accent lighting. Again, just simple, clean, easy execution there, easy cleaning down the line. Again, up top here, we do have our factory standard bedroom smart TV, and it is downward dog angled a little bit, so you're not quite doing the neck wrecker kind of situation. Additionally, giving you a look at the storage space that we have here in this bedroom, you can see you've got the big double dresser door down below. They didn't make that dresser space too awfully huge so that you still had pretty decent campsite window coverage. Now, you might notice too, when you lift the bed up, the storage under that is a little more shallow than what you would have expected, and there's basically some engineering reasons for that, but they made the storage under the bed very easy to access. Normally, that's a good place to stow away those folding guest chairs, but this thing has that gigantic ensuite bathroom that we are about to walk up to, and that front closet up there is probably the best place to put those chairs for transit. So working our way up here, this thing is amazing. Now, the upper deck ceiling height in this is fantastic. It's interesting, though, that I tell you what, let's start over here at the shower and work our way around. So first of all, take a look on the right side of the screen. You can see my headroom in that upper deck shower. The thing is, because of the way this floor plan lays out, the shower is not quite as tall as the rest of the upper deck. That being said, even wearing my shoes, I was still able to stand in that shower thanks to the barreled ceiling. And with the double skylights plus the dedicated lighting in the shower itself that was kind of shining off of my balding 5 head, whether it's daytime or nighttime, you can always see what you're doing in there. Again, the half bath is the only area where you don't get the bigger XL fan. All the others are going to be standard. You've got some very nice, let me get you around the corner again, shower hardware over here. For the most part, you know, the sprayer up top is what you're going to be using, and I must have bumped into this earlier because I knocked down the undercarriage sprayer wand. That is probably, yep, laying on the shower floor right now. I also love that shelf in the corner so you actually have a place for your body washes and everything. So many RVs just lack anything like that. Now, as long as we're staring at it, let's take a look at the space around the toilet, which once again is exceptionally fluffy friendly. And again, they have no floor ducted heat vents here. But look at the size of the shower. This is one of the biggest showers I think I've seen in the RV industry in a very long time, and it does come factory standard with that fold down seat if needed. Now, based on your feedback, most manufacturers who build this layout, they give us a double sink in the bathroom. And you will notice, once we slowly get ourselves turned around over there, they didn't do that in this RV. Now, they gave us a monster backlit mirror here, which is cool because it makes the whole room look and feel even bigger, and it gives you awesome views of stuff. It does not, however, offer any sort of medicine cabinet space. But notice, again, they went with single sink, and that is not a plastic sink. I know it looks like it on camera, but again, if you walk up to it and tink your wedding ring or something like that on it, it's not plastic, so that's not an issue. Both sides of the countertop have some easy reach power outlets, as you can see right there. And I tell you what, take a look at this right down below here, and you can see there's some really good storage below. Again, if I'm just looking for trouble with a map and glasses, they didn't give us a place for a wastebasket by default in the cabinetry here, but you know, you have very symmetrical cabinet space, and I think that there's enough floor space here. You could probably put a wastebasket in this bathroom and it wouldn't be in anybody's way. Then we get up here with this literal walk-in closet. Now, the thing is, I don't use fisheye wide-angle lenses. So I don't know that you're really even going to get the full effect of this off my camera work right here, but I'm going to do my best to kind of show you around this thing. You have more potential hanging closet space in this than almost any other thing I've seen. I mean, it is incredible what they did here. All the integrated dresser space. Now, you might notice a little bit of a step up down here. That's the extra structural reinforcement they have right above their hitch. Basically, the hitch is right below the closet on the front of the RV. So they everything's bulked up there. But notice the dual layer potential hanging space. So if you have tall stuff, you can put it up top. If you don't have a bunch of tall stuff, you don't have to do that. Then over here, this is where we would have our stackable prepped washer dryer setup. And again, just to give you a size reference, I took one of those little fold away guest chairs and shoved that thing in here. But just to help kind of drive the point forward, when I say this is a walk-in closet, I mean it. Now, I'm a little bit taller than the average bear, so if I'm not paying attention, I'm going to hit myself here, but I'm used to that. Tall people, I think, tend to just organically learn to duck for self-preservation purposes over time. But, you know, there's no Scrooge McDuckin going on in here. This is a literal walk-in closet that just gives you incredible space in this thing. What do you think about this? But not to mince words, when the slides close up on this one, the access is very, very, very limited. That was, was that 3 varies? That's how very limited it is. So from the entry door, you can essentially access the half bath, and the control panel will open the slides, and that's pretty much it. I can't say it enough. This is a model made for being there, not for getting there. But between the size and the weight of it, I think that kind of makes sense. But I know that for some folks, you know, having traveling access to various facilities within the RV is really important and really matters. So I wanted to take a minute to show you how that works. And if you appreciate taking a look at it in road mode, hit that little subscribe button and let's crack her back open and see what else she has outside here. Now, when we start talking towing on this, I don't think many people are going to really argue about my recommendation. I don't think you should be touching this with really anything less than a big old diesel dually. I think you're just going to want that power. You're going to need that payload. You're going to need a big truck to haul a big rig like this because you know, we are up to just a smidge over 18,000 pounds fully max loaded, but also this thing's about 44 feet long. It's a big rig, and that takes a very serious truck to be able to handle that. Now, real quick, I want to mention we are looking at one of the just gorgeous full body optional paint packages that you do have available on these. Just to give you a couple other quick samples, there's multiple different paint packages available on these, as well as just a stark polar white base coat with some cool black accents. Now, the full body paint packages are very spendy. You spend a chunk of money on it. But the thing is, when the RV ages, look in the used RV market at like a 10-year-old fifth wheel with a paint package, and it still looks incredible on the outside. Paint packages will just essentially keep the RV looking younger, I guess is one of the best ways that I can say it. Now, this is a max width wide body RV. You get any wider than this and you start to have to roll down the road with wide load placards. So you're definitely going to want the big old towing extension mirrors, although I recommend those regardless of what you get. The, you know, pin box and suspension package with this much weight, they definitely have a heavy duty shock dampening package on there. And you might notice the base weight of things like Jayco Jayco RVs in general. Jaycos are almost never the lightest weight RV out there because they tend to have, you know, bigger, thicker, heavier chassis. You know, there's a reason that they cost a couple bucks more and they weigh a couple bucks more. They have a little bit more heft about them. Now, by default, this RV would kind of be what we're looking at up here, where it just has these big wide open cavities. The bottom right corner is designed for just tons of batteries, depending on what you want to do with it. In the bottom left corner, you can either get generator prepped or actually add a generator straight from the factory. So those are all some availabilities that you have going on here. But they had extra space in that front compartment, so notice how they opened that up and put an extra shelf in there. Note, too, the dual power awnings. And because you have an extended upper deck, the front awning is huge. And because you have a mega slide for the living room, the rear awning is larger than you would normally find. Actually, Mr. Cousin Garrett, if you could, flash the links and everything so people can double check the awning links on this while we're looking at it, because, you know, there's a lot going on here. Now look up top of the roof line. 1, 2, 3 air conditioners. That's something that you can get on these Pinnacles right here. That's something that they've had available for a while, mostly prep for aftermarket, but they're starting to do a lot more offering that from the factory level. We have 6-point hydraulic auto leveling, and your main deck slides are like in your living room. Those are also hydraulic. So your bedroom is just traditional 12-volt electric, and then your lower deck slides are electric over hydraulic, if that helps you there. Notice too how you have that almost toy hauler style flooring down here in this drop frame front compartment. And you've also, this is where your outlet and everything is for that central vacuum cleaner, just in case you're curious. Now, they have stuck with a gas electric water heater versus going on demand like a lot of brands. In this big fifth wheel market, there still seems to be a little bit of back and forth on that. It seems like in the smaller trailer market, more and more things are going to the on-demand propane only variety. Now, that quadruple step right there has a gas strut, so it can hold itself floating in midair if need be. And the RV that we're looking at today is outfitted with the full factory observation suite. So what that means is not just a bunch of camera prep, but you've actually got rear view camera, side view turn signal cameras, as well as the little monitor over your door camera right there. So if you're up in your bedroom or your bathroom and somebody knocks on the door, you can decide how quickly you need to get dried off and wrap a towel around yourself and then go put on a bit of a scene for the neighbors, as it were. Oh, I like this too. Notice where they've located the outside speakers. I'm going to get you straight broadside on the RV here. One on either side of those steps, but mounted in the skirt, so they don't have wiring running through the walls, and they don't have big 6-inch holes drilled through your sidewalls there. Now, one of the things that separates Pinnacle from North Point is this outdoor entertainment station here, and apologies for the background noise. I'm right on one of the main service drags. They were kind enough to pull this up, so I'm not going to complain, but we might have a couple vehicles and forklifts cruising by us. You can see how I'm wearing my Darth Sidious hood in the reflection there today, because it is a little bit chilly. But speaking of reflections, look at this paint package. You can clearly see the Eagle factory next door in the reflection of this paint package right here. It just looks phenomenal. They have also, speaking of looks, adopted the kind of squarish sort of looking windows right here. But what's interesting is, if you notice, underneath it still has a structural radius corner, but they use the square panes that tip out to give it that little more kind of sleek sort of modern look that's kind of become popular once again in the RV industry. It's funny, RVs used to have square windows, then they quit, and now they're back. Just it's like bell bottoms. When I was a kid in high school, they called them flares, but it was bell bottoms. If I don't open this door, everybody asks, what is that? It's the back of the refrigerator for service purposes. They offer a little access point right there. Now, as we back up and wrap around the corner here, another one of the very few things that really separates North Point from Pinnacle is the fact that this has a full rear cap instead of just a rear wall. At a glance, they'll look very similar. Pinnacles are made, North Points are made visually to look very similar to Pinnacle, but Pinnacle actually does have the full-on rear cap. And when I stand all the way behind this thing, it almost looks like, if you didn't know what you were driving up on, if you didn't know what a Pinnacle was at a glance, tell me that doesn't look like the back of a motorhome. And that's exactly what they're going for. Their goal on this is to give you the looks and the feels of what I call a towable diesel pusher, in a sense. And again, you're going to want a diesel puller to get this around. I do like the double taillights for safety. They're mounted up a little higher than some brands. Having some vertical light beams up along the sides of the back wall I think would be cool, but they don't do that here. They have their little towing package on the back, the 3,000-pound towing hitch with the 300-pound vertical weight limit on that. That's a pretty common thing in the industry. That's also a 250-pound rated ladder. It blows me away that there's still some fifth wheels that are this high off the ground that don't give you a ladder. Like, I know that you can get on Amazon and get the removable extension ladder, but that, man, it just feels, I don't know. It feels different to me when you're that high off the ground as compared to a smaller trailer. Maybe it's just mental. Maybe it's just I'm crazy. I mean, there's a little of that involved, certainly, but I prefer it when the ladder is built right on from the factory. What I don't suggest you do is strap crap to your ladder. Those ladders are not made for you to strap, you know, the blue tote tanks and picnic tables and chairs and stuff to, and bike racks. That's not what they're for. Now, this layout, because it is so long and you've got a bathroom in the front, in the middle, and a kitchen in the back, it's just not possible for them to cross plumb everything together. So your kitchen has its own dedicated gray tank back here. You may also notice how you've got the stinky slinky sewer tube down here. You've also got your spare tire belly mounted, and the weather package on this is excellent. This is one of the, Jayco has, all their fifth wheels have been like 0 to 100 degree rated for many, many years now. I think since like 2016 or something like that. They've been, you know, doing the testing. Now, one of the other things that comes on a Pinnacle that's not on a North Point is that 50 amp cord reel, but notice the little switch next to it. You push a button and it extends the reel out. You push the button and it pulls the reel back in. It's just one of those simpler, easier things that you have in this, because those 50 amp cord reels, man, that's a lot of copper. And being able to keep it where you don't have to wrestle it, and to keep it away from the meth heads that are chopping copper for the day, I mean, that's nice. I get that what I just said isn't pleasant, but that is a real thing that happens out there. So a little bit of extra factory security on that regard doesn't offend me whatsoever. They put some very solid, like Uniroyal H-rated radials on this, and they have an extra heavy-duty suspension package on here. It is a MORryde package, but not all MORrydes are made the same. This is basically the bigger, thicker, stronger, like thick with 2 C's, like a bowl of oatmeal kind of MORryde package, because this RV throws more weight around than most things. And tire pressure monitoring is also factory standard here. I did mention how it is a 2-headed sewer monster. So there's your, I guess you call that your primary. That's where your bath, your half bath, will empty out of. That's your termination point there. Your lower slides, by the way, are rack and pinion. Our bedroom slide is a Schwintek slide. Now, some folks really don't, you know, get too excited about Schwintek slides. I'm not here to convince you one way or the other. I will say that right there is kind of what Schwintek slides are made for. A smaller, lighter slide, not a big, super, like, kitchen slide or something like that. Like pretty much any fifth wheel, we have ourselves an enclosed docking station, but that's not what I want to focus on. I want to showcase for you in here the Nuvo H2O water system. Instead of the Culligan jug system that they had previously, they actually went to a built-in water filtration system on this that can handle many, many thousands of gallons. So instead of only having good, fresh, clean drinking water 5 gallons at a time, you can now basically have all the fresh drinking water that your holding tank could possibly provide, or the park services, whatever works for you. You may also notice this is a heated pass-through compartment, and they actually put a layer of that double-sided radiant foil up, along the floor of the entire upper deck, just to help create like an indoor versus outdoor true maximized, weather break package. Now, this is one of those, it might be best in class, best in industry kind of things. Pretty much any big fifth wheel like this is going to have dual 30-pound tanks. What you're looking at there are dual 40-pound tanks, but the thing is, this RV has 3 of them. This RV has 120 pounds of propane factory standard. So there's some more money represented in there, you know. Again, Pinnacles are not the least expensive big luxury fifth wheel out there. Their goal is to potentially be one of the most heavily equipped and most comfortable living experiences, though. And having literally double the propane factory standard, like, if you want to put a generator on this that runs on propane, you're going to want the extra capacity. If you're going to spend a long time off-grid for some reason, or if you do plan on doing some cold weather camping and you want to run that furnace, it is really nice to have that additional capacity available for you there. One other quick note for you on this one in terms of the ride and handling and safety factors of it. This RV has the Dexter Tow Assist system factory standard on, and it's a 2-part suite of things, both of which I am very big fan of. The first of which is that it has anti-lock braking, which is something your vehicle has. It's something semi-tractor trailers have. That's all required. But for whatever reason, towable RVs are not federally required to have that basic braking safety system on there that this does have. The extra thing that it has is electronic anti-sway. Now, fifth wheels already tend to hold themselves straight and true better than trailers, but this will do an even better job because let's say it does start to get a little bit squirrely. The RV actively monitors itself, and if it shifts a couple degrees off of center axis, it will basically very slightly fire one of the brakes as needed on the trailer without you even thinking about it to pull the trailer back straight behind you. What's great about the tow assist system is that it works automatically. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to touch anything, it just keeps you safe so that you can focus on driving and not worried about what's behind you. You can keep an eye on what's in front of you, and I'm a very big fan of safety factors like that. So thanks again, guys. I know this thing ran long. That's why I chapter marked my videos in case you're curious. You can bop around where you want, but this is, I feel this is an absolute monster rig. Now, I'll leave you some links in the description. Whether you're curious or whether you're serious, if you want to double check pricing and availability on any one of these. Now, keep in mind, pricing could vary on this by over $10,000 due to paint package, generator, solar, shipping costs. There can be some huge pricing swings on this specific model. So we have any copy of this we have in stock. We have actual pricing listed right on our website for you. Or if we're sold out, we usually at least have base MSRP to give you a rough barometer. And that's one click away. No need to contact a salesperson for that. I'll also look up some similar floor plans from like Paradigm or any other big, bad fifth wheels that I've had the opportunity to record. And let me know which one you'd go with and why. And in the meantime, if you appreciate how we go to the all the extra links for you, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you next time. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.